you want to know my opinion and what I think, just keep on watching. It's your girl Nisi here and I'm back with another video, and I've not got my mic today, so hopefully you can hear me nice and well. It needs charging. But yeah guys, hope everyone's doing well. But in today's video I'm going to be talking, well, big trigger warning first of all, but I'm going to be talking and diving into the Diddy case. So they've started it, it's been like a week now. So I wanted to sit back and see, you know, the information come out on what's been going on. And guys, when I say big trigger warning, it's very disturbing. Cassie, love her, heavily pregnant, shout out to her and praise for her. But you know what I mean, she gave her, you know what I mean, her experience with Diddy. Dawn from Danity Kane has spoken out, which I'm happy and proud of. But yeah, like some of the stuff, you know what I mean, that Cassie's been saying, guys, you know when you can't even wish it on your worst enemy, like he put her through it. And it's just so sad because she was so young. So she's known him since she was 19, but this whole them getting into relationships slash free cuffs didn't start until she was 22. I'm not gonna say she was a virgin, but a lot of stuff she never did before. So like oral sex, she never did that before, and just all the nasty stuff, you know, from the baby oil, then sleeping with all these different escorts, like it was all new to her, you know what I mean? So then drugs, it's just very disturbing. And the fact that she's heavily pregnant and she's got 2 daughters and she's got to do this, it's just a lot. And I'm just looking at like, wow, she's amazing. Like it's definitely someone to look up for. Like that's what you call an influencer, someone to look up to, because like, wow, you know what I mean? She could have just took the money because she did get 30 million, and she could have just, you know, went on about her life. But she's like, no, I'm going to court, I'm testifying. You know what I mean? She wants justice, she wants to get him sent down. You know, one of the saddest things that she said, she would return the money if she never had to go through what she did, you know, the free costs, being beaten up, taking drugs, you know, all of that stuff. And that's the thing with time. Once time's taken, time can't be taken back. Like you can never go back in time. So it's just so sad that she said that. And of course, 30 mil's nothing compared to what she's been through. And just all the other celebrities that's been named, Michael B. Jordan, it's just like, you know what I mean? The only time I want to hear Michael B. Jordan if we're talking about sinners. But yeah, I'm gonna roll a clip of a guy breaking down their whole like dynamic, how they met, their whole relationship, and then I'll be back with my commentary.
Hey, you know who hates Diddy as much as Cassie hates Diddy? No one. Stupid, stop playing around. But you know who's up there? Meet Ryan. And you see, Ryan had a problem. So Ryan was known for writing music. Cool. And he was pretty good. He wrote songs for Beyonce, Britney Spears, a bunch of people. And his problem came, he met a dude named Diddy. Diddy said, hey, Ryan, come here. Ryan said, me. Diddy said, come here. He go, Ryan, you hot. Let me manage you. Ryan said, you Diddy. Yes, absolutely. Nothing could go wrong. Something went wrong. Because you see, Diddy has a label called Bad Boy Records. Ryan had his own label at the time. Ryan goes to this club and he meets this girl named Cassie. As soon as he see her, he go, yeah. Come here. What you do? She go, I model. He go, nah, you make music now. So they start writing some music. Next thing you know, a song called Me and You comes out. The song becomes an instant hit, but it was more than the song. It was the album that becomes a hit. Now Diddy chilling at a club, all of a sudden he hears a song called Me and You. He go, what is that? They go, your boy Ryan, you know your boy Ryan? He go, yeah, my boy Ryan. He go, yeah, that's his artist. Diddy go, oh. But see, now Ryan is the one who goes to Diddy and says, can I ask you a favor? Diddy go, yeah. Ryan says, can you, listen closely, co-sign Cassie with me? Now, he said this because they both have their own labels, but Ryan understands that Diddy's label is so much bigger that Cassie will have more opportunities. Diddy goes, I guess. And you know I'm your manager, so I never snake you. Diddy snaked him. Whatever you're imagining, it's worse than that. Ryan said, cool, let me introduce you to her. Diddy meet Cassie, Cassie meet Diddy. Diddy go, yeah. Ryan go, Diddy go. So Ryan in the studio minding his own business. He look at his watch, he go, dang, Cassie should be here by now. We gotta work on her album. Let me call her. Oh, she ain't pick up. All right, let me leave her a Yo, Cassie, it's business time. Where you at? She gonna pick up. She didn't pick up. Ryan said she finna pick up. She not finna pick up Ryan. She gonna pick up. Tell him the other thing. I'll tell him, Ryan. Yeah, I forgot to tell y'all. Ryan and Cassie were dating. But see, while they were dating, pictures like this start coming out. Damn, let's hope it stops there. It don't. Because you see, it's never enough for Diddy. Her second album gets announced. He says that Ryan will not be on that second album. And this shocks the world. Oh, I forgot to tell you another thing. Ryan didn't only sign Cassie. Ryan wasn't only dating Cassie. Ryan wrote and produced all of her songs, including Me and You. Now, Diddy's reasoning was he wanted Cassie to be exposed to different producers, but no. He just wanted her all to himself. I'm sure you know that if a producer and an artist that have been linked since the beginning do not work together, it's probably a problem. Everybody knew that Drake and Metro Boomin were fighting because Metro Boomin said Drake is not on my next album. Cassie comes out and says, I am open to working with Ryan. Diddy's label comes out again and says, no, she's not. She needs to be exposed to other people. Everybody said, girl. She said, no, it's okay. When I had that bad performance in the BET Awards, he said, all I have to do is listen to him from now on, and everything's going to be fine. Everybody said, well, he is Diddy. You'll be all right. R. Kelly said, facts. If I could do it, he could do it. So Ryan left the industry and went independent. Diddy went on to ruin Cassie's life and career. Cassie was 19 while all this was going on, but it's still her fault for leaving Ryan and going with Diddy. Psych stupid. But I know I got some of y'all. If y'all agree with that last statement, you're a little slow. I want you to go online and look up the definition for grooming and tell me what you get. Come back to me after.
Yeah, guys, you just saw that. Well, first of all, I know Ryan must hate him, but there's so many people that hate Diddy. Like, he's just done so many people wrong. So let's just jump in from the people on his label. So we have like Crack Mac, Biggie, rest in peace to them, Mace, The Locks, Total, Danny E. Kane, Day 26, B5. Trying to think, there's just so many. And obviously Cassie. Like, no one else is successful on his label. Like, if you look at Rockefeller, you know, you have Jay-Z, you have Kanye West, you have Rihanna. Like, they're all billionaires, they're all successful. When you look at Bad Boy, it's literally just him. Like, he just takes, he's definitely a vampire, he's definitely a demon. He just sucks the life out of you and, you know what I mean, the, what do you call it, the talent out of you, because pretty much everyone else is, like, broke, washed up, you know what I mean? Forgot to mention Faith and Mary J. Blige. Like, sadly, they're still touring while they should be able to retire. You know what I mean? But yet they're still touring. What was so disturbing with this case is that his daughters was there, and they're so young. And just to hear this, and at certain points they had to leave because it just got really bad. Like the information that was being told in court, and the memes, you know, it's one of those, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. So I'll put some on the side, but the way he's looking like an old man. So it goes to show when he was out here, he was just dyeing his hair. You know what I mean? He's not been locked up for long. And when I first saw the sketch, I was like, yo, why is the sketch artist taking the mick out of him? Like, why is he all grey? And then the AI version came out, and I was like, wow. Because with his case is the first AI recreation, because a lot of people can't actually be in the courtroom because the case is just so severe, but they're doing like the AI of, like, you know, people talking and the judge and stuff, and just seeing them all great looks crazy. But yeah, his breakdown, good breakdown. So yeah, he stole Cassie from Ryan, not just as his girlfriend, but as his talent, you know what I mean? Like, so you stole money because that's how he was making money with Cassie. You know what's sad is that she left Ryan for Diddy, and it's just like, maybe she stayed with Ryan, what happened to her wouldn't have happened. Like, I'm not saying Ryan's perfect, but I'm sure, you know, the whole freak offs abuse, I'm sure he wouldn't have done all that to her. And again, referring back to the film Sinners, I've done a review on it. If you've not seen it, do check it out. You can only let in evil. Like, you know what I mean? When Diddy approached her and that said, oh, leave Ryan, come with me, she could have said no. She could have had a completely different life, but she went with Diddy because, you know, he was successful, he was known, you know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? Everything that glitters isn't gold. Like, you know what I mean? She's just had the worst time and the worst experience with him. But yeah, just how young she was. Like, Diddy was like late 30s when he got with Cassie. It's like, what have you got in, you know what I mean, with a 19-year-old? And then from when he first got her into the free course, because, you know, your cortex is not fully developed till 25. I think it's even longer than that. But yeah, she first did the free course when she was 22, and it's just like she was just so young, and it's just like, where were her family, where are her friends? This is just like really like sad and neglectful. Like, where was everyone? You know what I mean? Like, she's old enough but still not, if that makes sense. I know in America, like, for here to consent for sex is 16, which is crazy, and for alcohol it's 18 and the lottery. And then I know in America, I'm sure that you guys can't drink until you're 21, but it's not enough. The number needs to go. You need to be 25, like, for everything. But yeah, he did a good breakdown, and it's just sad how her life ended up. But obviously, she's got a husband, Alex Fine. Shout out to him. He went to court to support her, and Diddy's team tried to get him thrown out because before him getting arrested, he did send some threatening texts because Diddy was throwing shots, getting awards and saying thank you to Cassie. And there's all these little, just poking the bear. And Alex was like, nah, especially because he knows the truth. He's like, nah, we're not doing this. So his team tried to get him thrown out, but Alex was still allowed to be there and support his wife, which I love.
I was in the courtroom as Cassie was testifying, so let me tell you guys everything that you didn't see or may have not heard, because it's a lot. I will say the most damning part of her testimony for me is when she describes a freak off where Diddy and another man, an escort, are standing on top of her while she is laying on the floor high off of ecstasy, and they are urinating on her face to the point where she is choking on their pee. And to further give context, on the right-hand side of the court seated is her husband, Alex Fine. On the left-hand side, Diddy's 6 out of 7 kids. We're sitting in the courtroom as Cassie is describing having weekly freak-offs for years that would last 2, 3, one lasted up to 4 days. She talked about damaging hotel rooms so bad in one instance that they had to pay such a hefty fee because the hotel told them that they needed to completely redecorate the room after a freak off. After a freak off, there would be blood, urine, and lots of baby oil. There was so much baby oil. There was also so much baby oil talk to the point where the judge at one point told prosecutors, wrap it up. But before we even got there, a very pregnant Cassie was called to the stand. She was wearing a tight brown turtleneck dress that was hugging her baby bump. When she sat down, you could tell she was nervous. And if you couldn't, you quickly picked up on it because once she started talking, you noticed that she paused a lot. She would sigh heavily before she answered a question. One of those moments was when she explained to the court that a year into their relationship, that Diddy had approached her with this fantasy that he had. He called it voyeurism, where he wanted to see her have sex with another man, later referred to as freak-offs. She said her stomach dropped. She was 22 years old. She described herself as very naive and a people pleaser. She said the only reason that she agreed to it is because she knew it would make him happy and she was afraid what would happen if she said no. That's also around the time, she says, that he started to get abusive. Most of her testimony today was spent on talking about these freak-offs, the different escorts that they would use, the different hotels that they would use. She said that she would find escorts off of Craigslist and this escort service called Cowboys for Angels. And to describe them, they weren't the most attractive men, right? They were very average looking. Some of them weren't even conventionally attractive. One thing they had in common is most of them were black because Diddy preferred for her black men with a big D, she said. At one point, Cassie broke down in tears when the prosecutor asked her, why didn't you leave? If the freak-offs, as you explained, were so disgusting and humiliating, why not leave? And she started crying and said that she was very deeply in love and this was the only alone time that she could get with Diddy. And it got to a point where this was kind of the only emotional connection that she was getting from this man that she was dating. So much more that I'll cover in another video, including his incessant phone calls, him tracking her down with his security, and her never being able to escape him.
Yes, guys, that was a lot. And shout out for those that who are reporting, on TikTok and online for us people, because again, we're not allowed in the courtroom, but just those free costs, the fact that that one lasted so long, 3 to 4 days, like, as human beings, we can't go that long just having, sex. So obviously that's why she had to do drugs, but and just the fact that she was just so knackered, like at some point she had to be on a drip, like that's how bad she was, like she was just drained, and it's draining. And then all the different type of men that she's dealing with, and then obviously like she mentioned the baby oil and just everything, you know what I mean? And then the urine, like the fact that she started throwing up and stuff, like, whew, it's just, this is too much. Like, you just can't make it up. Like, I know people are freaks and like porn and all that stuff, people do like freaky stuff, But this is just demonic and disgusting, like, and he just sat there and just watched these men do this stuff to her. Oh my gosh. But prayers for Cassie, because this is a lot. Like, even that money, it's not enough. Like, it'll never be. You know what I mean? I just feel so bad.
What? Diddy's daughters have just walked out the courtroom after a male stripper started speaking about how he and Cassie paid him for X-rated activities. The children should not have been in the room in the first place. Guys, this is actually too much. Day one of the Diddy trial. Make sure you're following for all those updates. And oh my gosh, apparently Diddy's son even put his head in his hands just down in shame when that male stripper started speaking. And then the daughters walked out. But of course it would be illegal for me to not discuss what was actually said in there. Daniel Phillip is the second witness to testify in this trial. He first met Diddy and Cassie in 2012 at a hotel in New York. So when Cassie and Diddy booked him and paid him that $5,000, Cassie told him it was her birthday and she wanted to do something special, and so did Diddy. He was booked to be sleeping with Cassie, but he was told that Diddy would be in the corner. In fact, apparently he didn't know it was Diddy at first because apparently Diddy had like a balaclava or like a bandana over his face. Diddy apparently told this stripper that he's into importing and exporting. And moments after that, the stripper saw baby oil on the table. And we know what that's for. Now, he claims that Diddy was directing this session between him and Cassie, telling him how much baby oil to put on, how fast to go, you know, how much he should slow down in certain places. Apparently, there were even times when Diddy was telling him to do role play and pretend like they were in an airport or something like that. These freak-offs would apparently last from 1 to 10 hours. Now, the witness said it was after a couple of sessions where he saw Diddy hit Cassie for the first time and was confused and didn't know what to do because he knew that all of Diddy's bodyguards were out there. And apparently this was something that kept on happening. And sorry, was Diddy's children supposed to listen to all of this in detail? Let's not forget Cassie's husband even arrived. It's a hot mess. Let me know what you think of the comments.
Anybody else find it weird that there's like a whole bunch of people in the comment section defending Diddy? And they keep saying that, oh, Cassie's just as guilty. She chose to stay. She chose to stay? Did you see the video of her being beaten up at the hotel? I don't think she could leave. And I keep seeing comments of like, oh, but why'd she stay so long? Why'd she stay so long? Who knows? She was young. Maybe she was scared for her life and she thought maybe if she left, she'd die. How could you not feel sorry for this girl after watching that video?
Yeah, shout out to him. And yeah, there's a lot of victim blaming, like, oh, you know, she was famous, you know, she got to go to the Met Gala, you know, she was at all these awards, she looked good, da 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 da. Yeah, but did you see the price she had to pay? And she said it in court, like, if she could relive her life again, she just wished she never met him. You know, he's literally the devil that came into her life and just ruined her life. Well, tried to, because, you know, she's moved on now, but even from like her hair, the plastic surgery, obviously the drugs, the free calls, like when I'm saying them beating up, like we've all seen the video, and if you've not, you can type it in on YouTube. But nah, I just don't get how people can still be a fan of his. And again, coming for Cassie, like why did she stay? There's so many people, even in real life, who are not with a famous or wealthy person who stay in DV relationship. Like you're literally under their spell, and they know that. Typical narcissist, you know, typical demon. You know, you try and run. Again, that video we seen when she tries to escape, and madly enough, that was after a freak off. You see her, you know, at the lift, you know, putting on her socks, you know, trying to creep out. And just as the lift was taking time to come up, I wish she took the stairs. Just as it's coming up, that's when he starts kicking her, dragging her. And you know what's mad? Shout out to the manager that checked him. He tried to offer money to get rid of the tape, and obviously he didn't take the money, and he said he got rid of the tape, but obviously, as we all know, he didn't. So bigs up to him. But yeah, people have got to stop with the victim blaming. Like even with R. Kelly, people are still fans of his, and it's just like how? Now I know with my Chris Brown shorts, if you've not seen it, do check it out. Some of y'all tried to come for me and drag me. Now with him, it's different because well, I won't say his victims, but his survivors are actually cool with him. Rihanna's cool with him. I can't remember the other girl's name. Tiana Taylor, you know, they got into a bit of a scuffle. The one I can't remember her name, I'll put a picture there. She was actually joking and laughing with him, and you know what I mean, being all right with him at Coachella that's just gone. Got a video on Coachella. If you've not seen it, do check it out. So I see what people are saying with Chris Brown, but there's so many men in the industry like that. Like hello, Dr. Dre. And he did just beat up his partners. He's actually beat up a woman that was interviewing him, and because she triggered him, he beat her up, like grabbed her by her locks, swung her around, and You know what I mean? So I get what people are saying, or people are like, oh my gosh, I'm disappointed in you, blah, blah, blah. But listen, you defo can separate the artist from the music. And again, the people that Chris Brown has hurt, they're cool with him. Doesn't mean it's all right. Doesn't mean what he did. No, no, no. And even with him being locked up in my city, Manchester, if he has to do time, he has to do time. Like, he beat up his producer, allegedly. Everything's alleged. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So I'll never be like, oh yeah, da 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 da. You know what I mean? But we're not gonna act like he's not talented, and that's what I'm going to see him dance. I'm going to see him sing. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be up stage dancing. You know them girls that be on stage dancing. I ain't trying to do all that. But yeah.
There is nothing that could make me hate 50 Cent, and especially after this. He has literally just dropped this on his actual TikTok. Sean Diddy Combs' jury selection for trial is finally complete. If only, because if anyone's going to shed some goss on Diddy, it's always going to be 50 Cent. The guy is a legend.
Listen, I can't stand 50 Cent. Shout out to him. He's my cancer brother above cancers. Listen, I'm petty, but not like this. Like, this is a whole nother level, because they were struggling to find jurors. Because obviously, a lot of people know who P. Diddy is, so you know what I mean. They want someone that's non-biased. But how can he do that? Post that to his TikTok? I just can't. I can't deal with him. He's definitely gonna be popping bottles once Diddy gets sentenced. We all know he gonna be first in line, cheering. Like, well, I agree with her. Like, never to have an enemy like him. Like, he's diabolical. I swear.
Diddy and his defense team think they're so slick. So for those of you who don't know, Dawn from the former group Danity Kane took the stand on Friday and is set to continue giving her testimony next week about Diddy and the Diddy trials. But what's also important to note is that she filed a civil lawsuit against him also. So there's the criminal side, which is why he's on trial. And then she filed a civil lawsuit for what she had to go through when she was working for Diddy. Now, this is a lawsuit that we've known about for a while. However, Diddy's team chose to ask for it to be dismissed the same day that Dawn took the stand. Now, the reason that that's important is because they're trying to make it seem like she's not credible, which is what they're saying in their request to dismiss the lawsuit. Ultimately, they're trying to say that this is all a money grab and that she's trying to take advantage of the moment because he's currently in court and it's all publicized and she thinks that she can get money out of him because of his current situation. But we've all heard the horror stories from Dawn where he wouldn't let her leave, where she basically felt like she was being held hostage, where he was saying inappropriate things to her or trying to get her to do inappropriate things. But I'm sure more of that is about to come out as she takes the stand. But they want the jury to see her as someone who's not credible. So they filed the same day to get rid of her lawsuit. Y'all not slick.
Yeah, they definitely think they're slick. But shout out to Dawn. I'm proud of her. I wish more people that were signed under him did speak out. So she spoke out on behalf of Cassie because one day she was at the house and Cassie was taking too long to make him breakfast. And he started throwing stuff. He pulled her to the ground, dragged her upstairs, and we all know what he did. Then, so this is when he was in that group Dirty Money, and then got the two girls, checked them, saying, don't tell anyone about this. I think he made them sign NDAs, and now Dawn's talking about it. And then even with Dawn, he's done stuff to her, locked her in the car and locked her in places, and he's like, you leave until this and this is done. When I say this guy, every person that he's come in contact with, especially if you were signed under him, like, literally just the devil, man. But bigs up to her, and I agree with what he said. His team think they're slick, and it's like, no, boo-boo.
So you telling me this whole time she really cut her hair because Diddy pulled it out? And the whole time she was telling us she cut her hair because she wanted to try something different. This how you know everything that glitters ain't gold. When you see these relationships out here, you be thinking that these folks be happy, and they do not be happy. This just goes to show it right here. And now when you look at this picture actually looks very different. You can actually see that she actually is not happy. So when we be seeing these relationships, these couples on social media, and they be making it look like they just the happiest couple, the best couple. Don't be believing it. And ladies, quick message. If you're in an abusive relationship, get out.
The man head is white as snow. He signed up for this stress. He not only embarrassed himself, he also embarrassing his children. Because they got to go through this with him. They have to be there to make sure that their father get a fair trial. What's done in the dark gonna come to the light. I'm all right with my few little couple dollars that God give me. I sleep good at night knowing nothing ain't finna come back and bite me in my ass. What I told y'all about people that has money. They think they can do anything. They think they can't be touched. He was one of the ones that felt that if he couldn't be touched. Don't get me wrong, I know we all do it. But some people are addicted to y'all know what too. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't of God. We husband, wife, everybody do what they do. You know, do whatever you gotta do. But when they go to a whole different levels, baby, all this stuff this is just too much. This man has so many skeletons in his closet. You couldn't even shut the door. He ought to be glad some of this shit out. Do I feel he might beat the case? I don't know. Do y'all feel he's gonna beat it? Because if he don't beat it, baby, he's facing either way it go. He's still facing some type of time. You're still doing time right now. But if he don't beat it, it'll be a long time before y'all see him again. Y'all be having a ball in y'all hand. Blessings. Blessings people be praying for. And here y'all go sit on the island, drink, sit by the pool, do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And y'all still be going to do things like this to get y'all locked up. The people is not playing. They don't care who you are and how much money you got. Money can't get you out of everything all the time. So y'all better rethink y'all decisions. Look at this man. This is stress. This is not peace. This is not good. Okay? This is not good at all. He not just going through this. His children going through this. His mama going through this. He taking so many people that love him through decisions that he has made. Bad decisions. Hugs and love. Y'all be blessed, J-Lo.
Shout out to that woman, and everything she said was straight facts. I love how she pointed out, like, you know what I mean, she's happy with the little money that God has blessed her with, and she can go home, sleep peaceful at night, knowing that she ain't done anything demonic, she hasn't hurt anybody. Thank you. I thank God when I say my prayers. I'm like, I thank God, you know what I mean? I'm not in debt. I'm not owing anyone any money. Like, I can happily, peacefully go sleep at night. People like that can't, because he's demonic, you know what I mean? Things be running, like, your head's always on a swivel. You always looking over your shoulder, like, is this the day I'm gonna get, you know what I mean? And like she said, he was successful for a long time, and that power got to his head, which does happen to a lot of people. But literally everything she said, I agree with. Like, this is embarrassing on his mother, his kids. You know what I mean? He's got a 2-year-old, and now that little Malaysian baby is not going to be in that baby's life. You know what I mean? The twins and Christian Combs, their mother, rest in peace to Kim Porter. With their dad going to prison, they've not got a mother. Shout out to Quincy, he adopted him, but at least Quincy's got his dad. So they're about to lose their dad, so they're gonna have no parent. I know they're old enough, but still, like, you know what I mean? Like, we need our parents, doesn't matter how old we are. But bigs up to that woman, and I agree with everything she said.
A Tootsie Roll sized penis is crazy. Why the hell Diddy getting sued again by another woman who says that Diddy S.A.'d her, and the little lady said she was so scared up until he pulled his pants down. Now, it's not funny at all. But the lady literally said that she had a sigh of relief when she saw his Tootsie Roll size penis. She said it had no girth and no length. And so that made her realize that, oh, this won't hurt. So she sat there and she endured the Tootsie Roll. And now that she say that, it all makes sense, because all this stuff that's coming out about Diddy, like, it gives Little Meat energy. Like, y'all tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. It don't give Little Meat energy. He's obsessed with BBCs, okay? We all know what it is. Big, black. He's obsessed with that, okay? He wants all his girls to have that because he can't satisfy them in that way. So he likes seeing them being satisfied with larger Tootsie Rolls with sneaker bars. Extra size.
Not the Tootsie Roll penis. Again, there's just too many like funny moments. I know it's a serious case, but there's just too many moments, and I believe it. That's why he had to get black male escorts with big peens to do stuff to Cassie, because he couldn't do it. And the fact that that woman was scared of getting raped by Diddy, and then she seen his Tootsie Roll and was like, oh, like, come on, let's get this over and done with. Child, when I say you can't make this up, like, listen, this trial, that was only the first week and there's more to come, so I will be doing multiple videos on it. But please let me know your thoughts in the comments. This guy needs to go down. He's one of the big, thick deviants that Cat Williams spoke on in that famous interview. And time's up. Count your fucking days. The time is up and they all need to go down. But yeah, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe and share this video. Stay safe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.